Now to breaking news from former President Donald Trump's legal team. Just in the last hour, Trump's lawyers said in an appeals court filing that Trump has not been able to get a bond to secure the $464 million fraud judgment against him after his New York civil fraud case. His attorneys say getting the bond needed to halt proceedings while they appeal is a, quote, practical impossibility. Joining us now from Arizona, NBC News correspondent Vaughn Hilliard and Glenn Kirshner, former federal prosecutor and an MSNBC legal analyst. So, Vaughn, what more did we learn from what Trump's lawyers said in this filing?
Jose, this is a direct acknowledgement by Donald Trump and his legal team that they are not able to put up the cash or be able to get a bond by this upcoming Monday, March 25th deadline, for that more than $450 million that he owes in damages stemming from the financial fraud lawsuit that he lost in the Lower Manhattan from the New York Attorney General's office. This is notable because he was able to put up a bond for that $93 million in damages for E. Jean Carroll. But in this filing this morning from his attorney, just in part, it says, quote, defendants' ongoing diligent efforts have proven that a bond in the judgment's full amount is a practical impossibility. These diligent efforts have included approaching about 30 surety companies through 4 separate brokers. A bond requirement of this enormous magnitude, effectively requiring cash reserves approaching $1 billion, is unprecedented for a private company. That is directly from Donald Trump's attorney. Again, we are just 1 week away. There have been serious questions about exactly what Donald Trump's cash flow looks like and the extent to which he could get a bond company to put up an appeal bond based off of the properties and the collateral that he has available, but also questions of whether he would have to go and potentially even sell a stake in the Trump organization to an individual to come up with such cash. As part of this, New York Attorney General Letitia James has made clear that if he is not able to put up the bond, that she has every intent to seize properties in New York directly from him, Jose.
So, Glenn, how would that work, and what's your reaction to this filing?
Jose, my reaction is, when we heard Elena Haba, the lead attorney for Donald Trump in the New York civil fraud trial, say in an interview not so long ago that Donald Trump is worth $14 billion. His assets are worth $14 billion. He is now being asked to put up a bond to secure basically a $500 million judgment, which would represent about 1/28th of his entire assets, as Donald Trump and Elena Haba say. And it seems highly unusual that not only did he go to 30 surety companies, but he went to, and I have the filing in front of me, quote, one of the largest insurance companies in the world. And everybody has rejected putting up a $500 million bond. If his assets were valued at the level he says they are, I would think insurance companies and sureties would be beating down his door to do business for him. So it feels like this is perhaps the next to last step on the road to Donald Trump's financial demise, because as we've been discussing, New York Attorney General Tish James said she will absolutely begin seizing his properties to satisfy this money judgment that has been entered against him. And Donald Trump is making a last-ditch plea to the court to not have to put up a bond to perfect his right to appeal, so to secure his ability to appeal without paying out this money judgment. But I think it's highly unlikely the court will grant him any relief. And then I would take Attorney General James at her word that she will begin using the mechanisms available in the New York state law to seize his properties.
And so, Glenn, what would seizing those properties look like?
It would. They're going to go through the courts. It would actually look like Tish James, figuratively speaking, putting a big New York state padlock on Trump Tower, for example. And then the question would become, how does she extract the value from it? Does she put it on the market? Does the state actually take possession of it and convert it to a state-owned property? I think the devil's in the details with respect to how she will actually go about extracting the value to satisfy the $500 million judgment. But, the New York courts are equipped to allow litigants who win money judgments to go about satisfying those judgments. Because, if they couldn't, it would be sort of a hollow exercise to go through a months-long, sometimes years-long trial process just to have somebody who has been damaged financially, the way Donald Trump has damaged people financially, to be made whole.
Vaughn Hilliard and Glenn Kirshner, thank you both so very much. Appreciate it.